Mena-Watch, der unabhängige Nahost-Think Tank.
Welcome to Mena Talk. My name is Jasmin Arémi. I'm a journalist at Mena-Watch, and in today's episode, we will be taking a closer look at Pakistan's emerging role as a mediator in the ongoing tensions surrounding Iran. Joining me is the geopolitical analyst Paushali Lass. Nice that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Pakistan has positioned itself as a broker in the US-Iran ceasefire. Given its track record, how credible is it in this role?
Well, not very credible, because for people who don't know much about Pakistan, let me just say Pakistan's relationship or foreign policy has been based more on transactional rather than on consistent principles. And it does not have a very good track record in the way it used to be in the bad books of America in Trump's first administration. In the second administration, suddenly it's cozying up to Washington. So again, there is this lack of credibility. The same thing with the Gulf states, particularly the UAE, which is at the moment getting quite frustrated with Pakistan because of some of its actions. Plus, as somebody who comes from India, I know that Pakistan's foreign policy has been based on confrontation with India. So it's developed a very aggressive also nuclear policy, a low threshold nuclear policy, helping Iran. We can get into that in a bit, in the development of Iran's nuclear policy. So given all this background, one should ask, is Pakistan really the best mediator for the ceasefire?
Just a few days ago, Pakistan's foreign minister described India and Israel as eternal enemies of Muslims. How does that align with its claim to be a mediator?
Just a little point. It's a Pakistan defense minister, actually, Mr. Khawaja Asif. So he's the one who's been making unbelievably inflammatory statements. First of all, we know that Pakistan always considers India as its biggest enemy because the state of Pakistan was even formed out of wanting to separate from India after the independence from Britain in 1947. So we know that about India, but increasingly this defense minister has been saying things about Israel. 2 days ago, he came out with a post on X saying that Israel is its biggest enemy, eternal enemies of the Muslim world and India. So it's basically calling out to the entire Muslim world, showing them that Israel and India are their true and eternal enemies. Now, not just that, just yesterday, the same defense minister put up another X post, which was incredible, which called Israel evil and cancer and a curse for humanity, to which today Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel and Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar of Israel, they released quite a strong statement how a country that says such things openly, how can it be a peacemaker and neutral party? It's just not possible. So, yeah.
Pakistan itself is grappling with significant and eternal challenges like political polarization, economic instability. To what extent can a country managing domestic crisis and act as an external mediator in serious way?
Okay, so I think that Pakistan's inconsistent behavior, or sometimes basically sliming up to America or China and all, a lot of it is based on the domestic instability. It has large debts. So to pay off the debts, now it's become a mid-tier defense producer. So it's looking to export defense equipment and all. And its biggest defense partner is actually China, followed by Russia. So there is that element as well. It owes a lot to America financially. So a lot of its foreign policy is also driven, A, to finance its debt, and B, to distract people, even its own people, from all the domestic problems and wanting to sort of, gain attention on the public stage in order to divert attention. So that's a big role, one mustn't forget. That's a big part that Pakistan is playing at the moment, to divert attention from its real problems.
Given its historically dominant role of Pakistan's military in shaping foreign policy, how independent and civilian-led is the mediation effort? Do you think it's affecting the legitimacy?
Yes, absolutely. The question we must be asking really is, why is a state like Pakistan given legitimacy on the world stage? We're talking about everybody in the world. Their attention is right now on the US-Iran or US-Israel-Iran war. And then suddenly Pakistan is given the stage as a neutral peacemaker, which it's not. So you asked about how independent and civilian-led it is. I don't think it is, because Pakistan doesn't care about Israeli civilians who are facing the maximum brunt of Iranian aggression, because Pakistan, A, the defense minister comes out with such horrific statements about Israel, and B, remember, Pakistan has no diplomatic relations with Israel. It does not recognize Israel. It does not recognize Israel's right to exist. So its motivations to broker a deal between any parties is certainly not civilian-led, certainly not led by humanitarian motivations towards Israelis, at least. So let's get that out of the picture. So it's not independent, right? So Pakistan is close to Iran. Pakistan is also cozying up to the US. So it kind of wants to be on the world stage and act important. But we know that this war is not just between the US and Iran, which is why I think the whole deal, not involving Israel in the process, at least openly, is a disaster. Because why is Israel, which is facing missile barrages from Iran and Hezbollah, not even in the picture? So that's because Pakistan does not recognize Israel's right to exist. So why would it involve Israel? But the question is, why is America even allowing that? America is Israel's ally. They've been in this war together. So why is Israel not in the picture officially? So Pakistan is close to Iran. Pakistan has helped Iran in the past, even in developing the nuclear program. We can talk about it in a bit, but just to mention that Pakistan is culturally, historically, religiously close to Iran. So it cannot be an independent party, especially concerning Israel. Okay, and so even if Pakistan says we are supporting Washington, it's certainly not spiritually and religiously aligned with America. Its alignment with America is more purely because of economic reasons. Okay, so it is not neutral. It has deep relations. It's proud of its relations with Iran. Just before the ceasefire was mediated, Pakistan had invited the foreign ministers of Turkey, Egypt, and Iran, Arakshi, in Islamabad. So we know about the stance of Turkey, Egypt, and Iran definitely, towards Israel. So where is the neutrality here? Pakistan is the last neutral state to be brokering a peace in this conflict. So it's certainly not independent.
Can you tell us a bit about the past tensions about Pakistan and India?
So first of all, just to give a background on the India-Pakistan conflict, India, the whole India, which is now divided into India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, was one country. And it was colonized by Britain. And in 1947, India got its independence. And Pakistan decided to move away and establish a Islamic majority country. So they said, okay, the Muslims become Pakistan and India stays India. India is a democracy. India is a secular democracy where all religions have equal rights. So we have all religions in India, whereas Pakistan was based out of an Islamic state, basically. And even Bangladesh was used to be a part of Pakistan, which was called East Pakistan. And later on, actually, with the help of India, Bangladesh got independence from Pakistan. So it became a separate entity, a state called Bangladesh. So Pakistan has always been aggressive towards India, and it has 3 major wars with India. And the major point of contention besides religion is Kashmir. Kashmir is in the north, a part of India, and it's not just Pakistan and India for Kashmir, but also China, wanting part of Kashmir. So you have 3 nuclear powers fighting over one region. So you can imagine it's dangerous, okay? Now, Pakistan and India both have nuclear weapons. India has a very clear no first use policy. So which means that India will never use nuclear weapons just like that. But it may use nuclear weapons as a means of retaliation. Pakistan, on the other hand, it has an ambiguous policy, which means it's not a clear no first use policy. They haven't signed up on anything. And besides so it has a total of 170 nuclear warheads. It has strategic ones, which is big. When we think of nuclear war, we think like, okay, the whole world is going to get destroyed. That is the strategic warheads. What Pakistan has is many tactical warheads, which is basically smaller nuclear weapons. And it has a defense policy of full spectrum deterrence, which means that it can use all forms of warfare if India, or let's say if Afghanistan, its immediate neighbors, attack. And it doesn't need a big reason. So even if India, let's say, stops anything economically for Pakistan, Pakistan can say, okay, India's attacked us. We are going to use this nuclear warfare, tactical warhead. So it has a very low nuclear threshold. Plus, growing up in India, how many countless Islamist motivated terror attacks have we had in India? Many. And the last biggest one was in Mumbai in November of 2008, and where terrorists came from Pakistan through sea, entered Mumbai and killed civilians. And that's the thing, it's always civilian attacks, So I think, me being involved with Israel, I know Israelis know how it is, when enemy nations come and attack civilians. It's like that with Pakistan and India. So the big one was the Mumbai attack, the November attacks. And last year, it was a horrible attack where Islamist terrorists came over from Pakistan, came into villages in the Kashmir region of India, and attacked people. Horrific. It's like an October 7th kind of attack, just to give a comparison. Mm-hmm. Started killing people in front of their families and all based on their religion. They just came and asked, are you Hindu? Shoot. Gone. Okay. So instead of playing as a global mediator, I think Pakistan should be punishing its own terrorists, and dismantling the terror bases. So anyway, that's Pakistan's foreign policy towards India, and you can't talk about anything that Pakistan does without bringing India into the picture, because Pakistan has been established to counter India. So, yeah. And just another point is that India and Israel work together closely. Mm-hmm. Because the goal is to fight extremism and terrorism, because both countries understand that. And Israel is one of India's biggest defense partners.
Yeah. Pakistan also maintains a complex relationship with the United States, with China, and some Gulf states. Mm-hmm. How does it navigate these competing interests while claiming neutrality in a conflict, or especially like in its role in the region?
Yeah, I think, well, Pakistan is really shooting itself in the foot, really, because in trying to be important on the global stage, what's happening is that it's kind of angering different parties. So its biggest defense partner is China. China helps out Pakistan, in many ways. There's the China Pakistan economic corridor. There is China helping Pakistan with its nuclear or defense capabilities. They produce fighter jets together. And all of that, and then suddenly Pakistan is getting close to to the US, which it probably doesn't understand, but US is using Pakistan. Let's face it. US is using Pakistan for its own interest. So China might now be reassessing its relationship with Islamabad, with Pakistan, because this closeness with America might get China into problems. There's a lot of intelligence. Who knows? Passing on intelligence between the countries, with Pakistan in between. So China may not be very happy. Let's talk about the UAE, which has been attacked by Iran constantly the last 40 days. There are over 1 million Pakistanis living in the UAE. UAE has been helping Pakistan economically for a long time. It's kind of like a survival line for Pakistan, are UAE and Saudi Arabia. Now, in the politics, the dirty politics that Pakistan is playing at the moment, UAE is getting increasingly frustrated with Pakistan. Saudi is still a friend, and Pakistan calls Saudi Arabia its big brother. And Saudi Arabia, there is this Sunni relationship, the brotherhood between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan. But Saudi Arabia is also getting bombed by Iran. So at this point, Saudi Arabia is also thinking, well, what help is Pakistan to us if Pakistan is also close to Iran? You see, kind of Pakistan has gotten itself in this mess, where it tries to please everyone, but in the end, it's like it runs the danger of being, everybody's enemy. So, and not just the Gulf states, by the way, there's also one other country, which is very important in our equation, is Turkey. Turkey and Pakistan are increasingly getting closer. Something to watch out for.
Do you think they see Pakistan still as a partner or like more a liability?
Turkey sees Pakistan as a partner because, late last year, they wanted to do a kind of an Islamic NATO bloc between Pakistan, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. That hasn't happened yet, but Turkey is increasingly looking to Pakistan. Why? Because there's ideological similarities, and Pakistan has a nuclear weapon. Turkey has openly stated that it wants a nuclear ammunition. Pakistan is the easiest partner to give it. Pakistan has helped out Iran in the past. In the late 1980s, there's this Abdul Qadir network. Abdul Qadir was a nuclear scientist from Pakistan who was known to steal nuclear secrets also from Germany and then pass it on with the centrifuge design and uranium enrichment, the technology to Pakistan. And not just to Iran, and not just to Iran, but also to Libya and to North Korea. Okay, so Pakistan has given these countries in the past. Iran is where it is today because of Pakistani help. Let's put it this way. Pakistan doesn't want to admit it officially, but I mean, a network that was going on for so long, I mean, don't tell me that the government didn't know. So what's the guarantee that a country that had once passed on nuclear secrets and technology transfer to Iran and North Korea will not do that to Turkey? Especially because they have similar goals. And what is the similarity is, again, Israel. If you have been following the news or posts on X or just being aware of what goes on in the Turkish parliament and in the Pakistani parliament, you'll know that they are openly calling for annihilation of Israel, for destruction of Israel in both parliaments. And it's not like something like some fringe politician comes up and says that, but the large part of the parliament doesn't agree with it. No. They are top politicians. Pakistan's defense minister, a senior parliamentarian in Turkey, and they are saying, we want to wipe Israel off the map. Turkey openly says we are going to send hundreds of thousands of martyrs to invade Israel. So their goal is the same, So in that goal alignment, they are coming together. And both are Sunni majority, Turkey and Pakistan, but both have Shias as well. Whereas Iran is more a Shia majority. That is another dynamics that...
Does it affect the process?
I believe so, because I also think, as far as Iran is concerned, I know that the whole world is focused on Iran, but let's not forget these side powers that are increasingly becoming important, because you see that the Islamic regime, even if it keeps firing missiles, it's at its weakest, let's say, since the last 47 years, and we can only hope that it's going to be destroyed soon, but it's still there, but it's weak. But what is happening is Turkey and Pakistan, the powers are increasing. And you see, Iran is a Shia majority, whereas Pakistan is Sunni majority, but it has a large number of Shia population, about 40 million. It's the second largest Shia country in the world, followed by India, by the way. India, simply because of its large population, has a huge Shia population. And all of them want to annihilate Israel, go and fight for Hezbollah. So there is this extremism coming from Pakistan and Turkey. And Pakistan, though, because of its mix of Sunni and Shia, being a nuclear country as well, almost has the power to unite the Islamic world against Israel and unite the world with its extreme ideologies. So it's unlike Iran, which is only Shia, Pakistan is Shia and Sunni. You see? I mean, if you know anything about the two major sects of Islam, it's Shia and Sunni. And although there are vast differences, they are united on one point, and that is Israel.
Another fact is that Pakistan does not recognize Israel as a state.
Mm-hmm.
What are the implications of that?
Yeah, well, first of all, as I said before, if it doesn't even recognize Israel's right to exist, it does not consider Israeli civilians. Okay? So they are champions of the Palestinian cause, which is basically from river to the sea, Palestine will be free, which is free of all Jews or all Israelis. So what could that mean? It's not looking good. So we are thankful very much that Israel has a strong army, strong government, and one can't just get away with threatening Israel. Enough of that already. But yeah, so Pakistan does not recognize Israel means the biggest thing is it does not recognize Israeli civilians' right to exist. So, and it's a country with nuclear warheads, not only tactical, which is short range, but also strategic, which is long range. So if needed, would Pakistan be able to do things? I believe it can. The question is, will we stop them? The thing is that with Iran, another complication. With Iran, we knew that America is clearly against Iran. Okay, because America understands Iran's policy is destroy America, destroy Israel. Okay, so in that, America is clearly, that's the reason why America started also bombing Iran. But with Pakistan, it's more complicated, right? Because Pakistan is kind of trying to please everyone here, like as in America, Iran, China, Russia. So it's almost in a way even more dangerous. You see, because Pakistan, for most people, let's say in Europe also, where does this country suddenly come up from? That is even more dangerous, I feel, because they are not only a nuclear power, they have helped Iran become what it is today, So something to watch out very much, and they need to be stopped.
Also, Iran is continuing with aggressive posture, and the regime might be a little bit weakened now. Do you think the ceasefire ongoing now is meaningful, or does it simply mask some instability? What can we expect now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That's $1 million question that everybody's asking. But one thing is clear, this ceasefire is very fragile. It's only giving some time, maybe a temporary opening of the Hormuz Strait so that the world economy can recover a little bit. And Israelis, my friends, I'm always in touch with them, they're like, okay, let us get a one good night's sleep, at the moment, let us not run to the bomb shelter 20 times a day, or let us get our dental treatments done, our hair appointments done, just simple things of life, okay, which they've had to put on hold. So they're like, but what happens? We know that Lebanon has been firing missiles, Iran is not stopping, so the aggression continues. So what good is the ceasefire actually? This is not a ceasefire except for maybe temporarily opening the Hormuz Strait. And the US, let's face it, is only after its own interest. They want the trade channels open. Otherwise, they are losing billions of dollars every day. They want to protect their American interests in the Middle East, which is why also they are using Pakistan, because it knows that Pakistan has this diplomatic channel with Iran. So what good is it from a civilian point of view? It's awful. What's happening in the Gulf states, not just Israel, what's happening in the Gulf states? I mean, they are getting bombed also. I think at this point, it's like patience is really running out. So it's interesting to know what's going to happen. But I think I see some good thing happening is that people are getting exposed, like this Pakistan defense minister's comments and Netanyahu's response today. It's like, I mean, that's not an independent broker and one of peace or ceasefire. So one really also needs to understand what is the game the US is playing at the moment.
Do you think Pakistan had the ambition to maintain a role like as a long-term mediator, or is the goal something different?
Well, I think it's different based on just what we've been talking about. It's forming regional alliances, strengthening them with Turkey, with Saudi Arabia, but with Turkey more like a military alliance. Ultimately, it's the spread of their Islamist ideology as far and wide as possible. Let's also not forget, by the way, in the recent past, a lot of the minor or major, whatever terror attacks that are going on in the UK were also Pakistani citizens or Pakistani origin British citizens, like the burning of the ambulances, the Jewish ambulances in London. So there are people all over, and it's not just Pakistani, of course, let's not forget Hamas, which is getting shelter in Turkey. Turkey's been funding Hamas, hosting Hamas. It's well documented. It's known for years. Okay, Turkey has been hostile towards the Kurds through al-Shara in Syria, towards the Kurds and the Druze. So Turkey has expansionist ambitions, and so does Pakistan. Pakistan knows that it has a big enemy, India, which is far more powerful than Pakistan. But it's trying, India is full of extremist people as well. The ideology is growing, which is also supported by this same It's the same ideology, basically, extremism spreading everywhere. So they are not interested in short-term peace or long-term peace. What they want is their ideology spreading far and wide. And this is where Europe needs to be very careful too.
To wrap this up, as its core, what is the one question the international community should be asking about Pakistan's role in the moment?
It's a very simple question, actually, which everyone should be asking. A country that does not recognize Israel, does not recognize Israel's right to exist, calls Israel evil and cancer, curse for humanity. Why is it allowed to mediate a ceasefire deal where Israel is a central character? Why? So that's the question that people should be asking.
Thanks a lot. That was geopolitical analyst Paushali Lass, offering some insights into the Pakistan potential as a mediator in the Iran conflict and wider implications of the regional diplomacy in this case. Thank you for joining us here on Mena Talk. My name is Jasmin Arémi, and stay tuned for more conversations across the Middle East here on Mena-Watch. Thank you.
Mena-Watch, der unabhängige Nahost-Think Tank. Besuchen Sie auch unsere Website. Dort finden Sie täglich neue aktuelle Berichte und ausführliche wissenschaftlich fundierte Hintergrundanalysen zur Geschichte und Gegenwart der MENA-Region.